I'm okay. No, I'm not. I'm Sam.
I'll fucking kill you. I'm Jackie.
I heard IBM also put some shit on the side of Watson's face. I'm Justin, and this is Pass Through on Stinker Madness.
What's that smell?
I don't know about you, but I'm thirsty as fuck. Thirsty as fuck.
Hey, look at me!
Thrill me.
If you come back in here, I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Beg for a left.
Thrill me.
Hey, look at me!
No more hangers!
It stinks.
Hangers!
Get to the chopper! Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, the podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers. I am your host, Justin. With me are Sam and Jackie. I just wanted to, Breen out there for a little bit, where it seems like most of the people in this movie forgot their line halfway through it, or the cue card had to get turned over for them to fucking finish their single line of dialogue.
Or they're making it up and they don't know how.
Yeah, right. That could be too.
I mean, there's a variety of things that happen with the delivery of lines in this picture.
Right. Pass Through from 2016, our third Neil Breen film that we've done. We are over halfway through the Breenology.
Oh, God.
Jackie,
two left.
Jackie's starting to lose some steam on the Breen. We're a little too far away from Fateful Findings, I guess. Like, things have kind of gone off the Breen rails, as it were, even though it seems like he's trying to really become an auteur. It's not just the bullshit statements that he's trying to make. It's that he's now spending a lot of time pretending to be a director.
Yeah.
Is it that, or is it the Canadian tuxedo trying to be taken seriously as a world leader?
Right.
And a messenger from the future with shit on your face.
Right.
And telling us how to live our lives.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's in the journey that you get as he's making more mistakes now than he was making before.
By trying harder.
Because he's trying harder. But that's actually because he didn't know how to do it. Now that he's learning it,
right,
he's actually making mistakes, which is how it goes for anybody, really.
Sure.
And I think with especially Fateful Findings, he was letting other people make sure that certain things happen, and now he's making sure everything happens, and he's getting drones and trying to do a lot of After Effects and post-production work, and it just doesn't go well.
What are you talking about? The gunshots were the best part.
God. There is some so bad post-production stuff here that is completely unnecessary. Like, you don't need to do it. Like, if you can't do it in practicality, then you don't even need the shot. Some of these post-production stuff are completely non-plot relevant. They're just shots of nothing because he's hitting the buttons.
There's always been a component to the guy that I've figured that he had never seen a film or a television show before. And so if you haven't,
met real humans,
then you don't know that it doesn't look like this.
Right. Exactly. He is such a strange person. And my attraction to Breen isn't necessarily because any of these are The Room. They're different completely than The Room. These are not for everybody. This is the advanced class of bad movies when you get into Breen.
Yeah.
You can't. Whereas, The Room, you expose a lot of people to The Room. Like, dude, you got to see this piece of shit. People that have never seen a bad movie in their life, and they're like, usually their first reaction is, are we watching a porno? But this, if you were to sit down with some person who's never seen a bad movie, they probably are never going to watch a bad movie ever again. I had a point. Oh, my fascination with him isn't that I want to talk about pass through in particular, it's that I am confounded by the human that is Neil Breen.
Yeah.
It's a science experiment for me. It's an observation so I can try to rationale how this man exists.
You can be fascinated by something while not liking it.
Right.
I would rather pick up dog shit in the yard for an hour.
Then watch, but is that you're making commentation on this film? Is there no attraction for you on the bafflingness that is the man Neil Breen?
No. He's a fucking nutter. And that's all you need to know. And if you watch these movies, you wasted an hour and a half of your life.
I completely disagree.
Oh my God.
It's like being fascinated by mold. It's not exactly sexy.
No.
But there's a lot of shit going on there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I'm just going to be making the sound a lot during this podcast.
Fine. Fair enough. Again, not everybody's going to like the Breen.
This is not
I liked the one where he was ass up in the swimming pool. That one was okay.
Yeah, Fateful Findings is the model.
Fateful Findings is the one to introduce people to Breen on. You could introduce them to Double Down, would be all right.
Right.
But this is not the one to throw them in on. Like,
no.
You want to watch this one after you've enjoyed the other two.
This is for Breen lovers only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Sam?
Which makes me wonder about the next movie that he's also finished
Twisted
with.
Pair, which
Twisted
you and I have
Pair.
seen the trailer for.
I'll kind of get to that. So all I could really do, because he's a mystery,
Right.
is I was able to sort of find the chain of events that led to it happening.
This movie or Neil Breen?
Neil Breen.
Oh.
I have a question, too, about Neil Breen.
You have insight. You have information to help me unbox the Breen?
No, not necessarily the Breen, but after he made his first movie, how it sort of came to be that he could keep doing this and became popular on a very limited scale.
Okay.
Where does he live?
Vegas.
We've covered that like every single episode. He lives in Vegas. His movies are shot in Vegas.
He's probably crazy because of the heat.
Yeah, he could be. He could have a real
He could have fucking heat stroke out there. And that's why the movie just gets more fucked up as he goes. He's like, oh, I'm fine. Let's just keep shooting.
Well, he's old enough to have been like, if he lives in like Henderson or somewhere on the outskirts,
Prim.
like if he's a solid local for the whole time, he's desert folk.
He is desert folk. Yes.
Those places were not in Vegas 50 years ago, right?
Exactly.
Those were like shantytown weirdos, and he could just be desert folk.
Yeah, he knows the guys that are the Hills Have Eyes people. Like he's pals with them.
If I was to guess what happened, is that my speculation on the before movies Breen is that he's desert folk, that his family had a bunch of land that was just worthless dirt, that all of a sudden 100 acres is a fortune.
Right.
That's my guess on the Breen.
Very well could be. I like that theory.
But from the movie point, he made I Am Here Now, where he's like God and comes down and tells the human race what to do.
Sure. Again.
So LA Cine Family, it is one of their little art jobs, and they have this series called Holy Fucking Shit, which is just HFS.
Okay.
And the guy that runs that found this somehow, and he was like, I gotta screen this. Everybody liked it so much that when he did Double Down, he screened it again. Or he did 2 screenings of I Am Here Now, and one of those a guy from Draft House was at. Because then after that, Double Down gets shown around Draft House to the point that everybody likes it so much that Fateful Findings, or Double Down, premieres at Draft House in Texas.
Okay.
Rather than just somewhere in Vegas.
Another town that probably has heat stroke.
Right.
It's in Austin, which is real hot.
Yep, heat stroke. Go on.
I was going to name some places in Texas that aren't hot, but I can't. There's probably 1 or 2. With the success of the Draft House thing, then when Fateful Findings happens, he gets to premiere it at the 2012 Butt-Nummathon.
I'm sorry?
It's a 24-hour film fest where you go Butt-Nummathon.
Butt-Nummathon. Brilliant title.
Yes. And
Shouldn't they just call it cocaine?
Well, they don't
You gotta
serve,
stay up.
you don't serve cocaine, Jackie. You just get a numb butt.
You wouldn't watch a movie if you're on cocaine.
Yeah.
You like start licking your gums and talking to each other about like brakes and spare tires.
Yeah, and jumping off of houses into pools and shit.
I am
Yeah.
a golden god.
Right, exactly.
So after the success of Fateful Findings, at that point, Draft House wants to put his stuff out, but they can't come to an agreement because he wants more cash than they're willing to shell out, or he wants pretty much too much money on the DVD sales, because that's one of the things that Draft House is going to do. So they're going to give you a chunk up front, but they're making all of it on the, on the sales after that.
On the distribution.
They're taking the big chunk, and so he goes with somebody else, and then now is completely independent. To the point that I was reading in a post on Reddit where somebody said that they had to pay like $20 to see
Right.
a Breen thing,
Yeah.
and that what he's doing now is that if a theater wants to show his movie, he sends them a DVD only because he doesn't want Blu-ray or special screenings, I guess. And you have to pay him up front $20 for every seat.
Which is the most Breen thing. His distribution management is the most Breen. It's a microcosm of being in his mind, because these movies are hard to get your hands on. Every once in a blue moon, Amazon might have one, and Amazon's the show that has all the crap. They'll put any crap on Amazon, right? You have to go tooth and nail to get your hands on a Breen movie. Like, it's almost like he's making them just for himself.
And well, he's making him to sell them personally.
Right.
Because you can get a hold of a Breen movie, you just have to go to his website and buy it.
Right.
And he wants some coin for the damn
He
thing.
does.
How much?
I think you can get into the early ones for 10, but I think he might want, and I don't know, I should have looked that up to see what the Blu-ray is, because he's been really particular about the fact that the new one is on Blu-ray. So I'm going to just guess it's like $40 to
It might
get
be
in.
like $40. Neil, dude, come on. We're never going to see this movie.
We'll see. Maybe it's cheaper. We'll look it up afterwards.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if you're a true Breen fan, you're going to cough at $40.
Is there such a thing as a true Breen
I would
fan?
not pay.
You are.
I'm fascinated by him. Doesn't mean I'm a fan.
I wonder how much it would be for a meet and greet with him.
That I would do.
Is that on the website?
That I would do.
No.
Because Justin wants to spend the day with Neil Breen. So if you're listening, Neil,
Yeah.
and next time we're in Vegas, preferably not when it's 110 degrees,
Which
we
is
would like to
always-
hang out with you.
I like that you're saying Justin would like to, but you're the one delivering the pitch
And
to
she
Neil
said
Breen.
we, and I kind of don't want to hang out with them.
I'm
So you
saying,
two can go
hey,
have lunch
fuck
with
you.
Breen.
Fuck you. If I have to go, you have to go. And the three of us are hanging out with Neil Breen, and we're all wearing denim tuxedos, and we're fucking hanging out with dirt on our face all fucking day.
It's funny that you bring it up, because my number one question was, is it possible to be friends with Breen? Could you spend a day with Breen? Or would you
How
be
much
like,
would that cost?
I need to get out now?
Do you have to pay for everything if you hang out with him? And maybe he's a mass alcoholic, and
don't.
you're got like a $300 bar tab by the time you're done.
You are the one pitching. I'm afraid
just
of
saying.
Breen. I fear him.
I'm just saying, Neil Breen, if you're out there and
No,
you're listening,
no. Don't.
Email us at stinkermadness.com.
Do that.
Yeah, sure.
And-
Email us. That's fine.
And we'll try to set something up and, have a radio show with you about your movies.
I am more afraid of Neil Breen than I am of
He's
the
not going to hurt you.
president of the Philippines, who's a real bad guy, Duterte or whatever. No, he's the guy from Turkey.
Didn't you hear that on the movie? He's not going to hurt you. He's a heroin addict. He's not going to
not.
hurt
His
you.
existence hurts me. It hurts my brain because I can't figure it out.
Well, there's
No.
three of us and one of him. So unless he has laser eyes, we're going to be
he
fine.
might have
He might
laser
have
eyes.
laser eyes. Plus, you can tell he doesn't do any drugs. He's just too slender and his skin looks fine. He's probably never touched a drug or alcohol in his life, which makes him even more strange to hang out
He's
with.
desert folk. You don't hang out with the desert folk.
I bet if we, because of how much of his movies are him just sitting there not doing anything, that's going to be probably the first 20 minutes of you hanging out with Neil Breen is him sitting across the table looking at you, not saying anything, and it being weird.
And then 20 minutes passes and he goes, "Can I get you something to drink?" And you say, "Sure." He doesn't ask what you would like. He just goes into the kitchen, fills up a coffee mug of water and
Yes.
brings it down to you.
Because he doesn't have humans at his house usually.
Exactly. And then you sit there for another 20 minutes while trying not to be rude and slowly sipping your coffee mug of unfiltered water. Well, I think I gotta go.
Yeah. And your coffee mug full of 85-degree Vegas tap water.
Right.
Is that fluoride?
Oh, come on. I bet he has little sandwiches.
Oh, no.
Yes,
no.
with the crust cut off. Little cucumber sandwiches
Nope.
with the crust cut off.
That is-
He's got a Canadian tuxedo. He
That
knows
is
how to entertain.
The most unbreened thing that has ever been
He has Canadian
postulated
bacon and
about.
pineapple at his house. He's Canadian. All Canadians eat Canadian pineapple.
Canadian pineapple
Canadian bacon and pineapple. That's all Canadian people eat.
is Hawaiian pizza.
Hawaiian pizza. So
Yeah.
he's just got a freezer full of it. And he's like, I love the Canadians, but they don't have a desert. So I have to live here in Vegas.
Maybe you should meet Neil Breen.
Maybe you should.
Oh my God. We would probably get along fabulously because I'm fucking crazy. And once the heat hits me, I talk like a blithering idiot. So if you think I'm crazy on the show, just wait till the heat gets me.
Speaking of the interview process, apparently he's hard to interview.
Right.
And despite his success and sort of renown outside of Vegas, the festivals in Vegas want nothing to do with him.
Why do you suppose that is?
One of the guys says specifically, and he didn't say it in so many words, but he's like, having met him, he's like, Neil is a very serious filmmaker that doesn't realize he's the butt of a lot of jokes.
Oh.
And I think that what he's saying between the lines there is that I am not going to fucking put somebody in a room to be made fun of. Somebody else can do that, but it ain't going to be me.
Right.
He lives here. He can go do what he wants in Seattle. He can go do what he wants in Austin, but this is his home, and I am not going to be the guy that kicks him in the ass.
I get you. Whereas Tommy felt very similar to that. He was
Yes.
deeply hurt by people laughing at the room until he finally got it, which took like 3 years
Yeah.
for him to be like, it doesn't matter that people are not getting what I wanted to get. They love my movie, and
love
that's what matters.
Yeah.
So Breen hasn't gotten there yet.
I will say, though, for Breen's defense, he has made how many movies? 3? 4?
Five now.
5 movies.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's an accomplishment. And
It is.
I will give him that.
Yeah. Anytime you finish
And-
a project is an achievement.
I do think that he has a right to kind of be a serious film guy. I mean, he's trying his heart out, and eventually he'll get it.
Oh, no.
I don't.
We're seeing what it is.
And maybe not, but you know, it's kind of like wishing that you could get sex from anybody that's not a whore.
What?
I'm just saying that he probably has to pay for sex. I just kind of slid that in there.
Oh, no. He just has sex with other desert folk, and I bet it's weird.
Yeah, I bet you gets real weird.
I bet it is weird. I bet it's like out in the middle of nowhere. They've got a blanket and a log and some plastic pots, and shit's happening.
Plastic pots. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. You're Breen-esque in your imagination. Yeah. No, it gets freaky deaky. Yeah, it's too bad because I get what you're saying, Jackie. That yes, he wants to be a serious filmmaker, and I have no problem with that. But at the end of the day, you don't get to decide how people feel about your art.
Yeah.
You make your art for yourself, but everybody else gets to judge it and either love it or dislike it on their merit. You don't get to dictate how other people should feel about your art. If they like it, it doesn't matter what the reason is that they like it. You should be like, fuck yeah, they like it. Rather than, you shouldn't laugh at my project. This is serious material. Dude, come on,
I
man.
laugh at you all the time.
Right.
That now that he's in his 5th, I feel like he has a pretty good idea. He has to have some self-awareness, but I don't think it's changed his process, which is good.
Good.
And
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
that for the most part, he shields himself from a lot of it.
Right.
In fact, that most of the information I got here came from Vegas Weekly.
Oh, wow.
And they said that when they called him, because they were really more interested about his past than because they wanted to do a nice humanities piece on it.
Sure, that's what I want to read.
And they were like, if you're interested in the whole architect real estate thing, We're just going to say that he prefers to be extremely vague about his past, and he declined the rest of the interview.
What? Yeah. Oh, man. I wonder how many cups he has in his house.
For the coffee? For the water, the lukewarm water?
Yeah.
He probably has like an odd number, but it's like, because I actually lived like this at one point where I had like 5 coffee cups, but it wasn't for company. It was just so that I could have another coffee cup if I forgot to wash a coffee cup.
Right.
And that was about it.
He's either got, no matter what, he's got too many coffee cups.
Yeah.
The coffee cups to other glasses and plates ratio is very lopsided.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I still think he may only have 3 coffee cups. It's just he's got nothing else.
No other
His
dishes.
cabinets are empty.
Do you think he collects anything?
Yeah, probably something very eccentric, like a very weird, obscure, like Beyond stamps. Like, why would you collect that?
He seems to collect laptops that don't work.
Right. See, that's that's very Breen.
I'm guessing that the house in Fateful Findings is his house.
Probably.
So it seemed pretty sparsely decorated, and the only thing that there was in abundance was laptops that don't work.
I think the set where the migrants are taken to in this film, the house.
Yeah.
I think that's the same houses. So I'm sure it's his.
Okay.
Yeah. Just a 3-bedroom jobber, 1,200 square foot,
On the edge of the property that you sold for a bunch of cash.
1.5 bathrooms, standard.
Do you think he took the
cookie-cutter
numbers
house.
off the doors after this movie, or he just left them on there? Oh, the bathroom is room 4.
What?
Is there numbers on the interior doors?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
there
notice
were.
that.
Nice.
So I'm kind of wondering if he left those up. But my point is that I think he probably collects something pretty normal. Not like Beanie Babies or something stupid like that. But
Okay. Elvis plates?
no, I bet he has a cactus farm.
That's pretty normal.
That's pretty normal.
Everybody has that.
I guess in Vegas it's more normal than somewhere else.
No, they go outside. Here's my cactus collection. It's called my backyard.
And you termed it farm.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
he
farm of
sells
cactuses.
them. That's how he gets the money for his movies. This is my theory
Oh, boy.
Okay.
about how he gets his money.
Okay.
So he has a cactus farm in his backyard that he doesn't show, in the movies because he has commercials that are airing, in Vegas. And he doesn't want people to, be like, oh, I got to go get a cactus from the movie star. Because, then that's just taking advantage of your fans. So he separates it out by having Breen cactus farms. But, he pays somebody to sell the cactuses for him. And then every once in a while, he, if that person doesn't show up for work, he puts on a fake mustache and a hat and some sunglasses and goes out there and sells cactuses.
Sure.
And he just not any cactuses, though. He has like rare breeds from other countries. And, they've got their own little built-in little wood boxes, that they're growing in. And, the whole experience is that he has all these little plastic pots. And you get to like go out.
Plastic pots again.
You get to go out and dig your cactus out, and put it in a little pot, and he
It's
shows you how to
Vegas.
do it.
The terracotta's got to be cheap as shit down there.
Right.
Well, the dollar store doesn't have terracotta. Okay, he's making a monthly run, Sam.
To plastic pots are us.
Yes,
You are so
and he's
weird.
and he's selling these cactuses,
Cacti.
cacti,
Cacti.
for money. And then once he sells enough, then he starts a new movie.
Okay.
And he goes to the college and he goes, hey, I need, 12 students who want to learn about filmmaking. My name is Neil Breen, and I've, successfully published 5 movies now.
And then the campus goes on security lockdown as soon as they hear, I'm Neil Breen. The alarms are going off, and they call in the National Guard. We got to evacuate the campus.
It's
the
such a
psychos here.
It's such a serious and inevitable happening that it's actually just code 1.
Right.
It's not
God
code 47.
damn it.
It's like code 1. This is the one we practice for people. Lock down the theater department.
Go.
I did, and this is a trail that ended up cold that I really wanted to find out, because in like the 90s, before he started making movies, he had allegedly his own food product line. And I couldn't find
Breen steaks.
I couldn't find out anything about that other than like 3 or 4 different places said, yeah, he was in the food. He had a food product line before. I'm like, What the fuck? And that's why he's his own craft services guy.
Right.
So there's
Cacti.
that.
Breen pudding.
It's probably just only summer sausages.
Right.
You get sick if you work for him. I can't put another ounce of that into my face.
All right, well, that's what your paycheck is made out of, so. I have terrible news for you, Jackie. This film was actually crowdfunded. That's how he made this. He,
So my cactus dream is just down the shaft.
Maybe it is. Maybe at one point he had a very successful cacti farming business in his backyard, but he didn't need it for this film because he went on the internet and asked for money and people gave it to him.
Well, Neil, I'd just like to say that if you are making another movie, please put a cacti farm in it, just for me.
Yeah.
Just one scene with a cacti farm so that I know that you're listening to our show. Cacti farm.
Twisted Pair got crowdfunded, but didn't it hit its goal in like a month or something like that?
Yeah.
So it's not just that he's crowdfunding, like he's gonna get to keep making movies as long as he wants crowdfunding him, and he's making, if he's charging $20 a whack up front for your seats that you haven't even sold, he's doing very well as an independent filmmaker from a business model.
Right,
anyway.
from a business model.
Also, Twisted Pair is sort of a culmination of his sort of egomania as well, because he's now playing two parts in that.
Right. Yeah, he's gone full Van Damme.
Which I'm excited about,
Yeah.
frankly.
Yeah, I want to see Twisted Pair quite a bit. We got to do we got to tour. I mean, we're 3 deep, Jackie. We only got 2 more to go. We got to get them all.
Well,
they're like Pokemon.
Can't we just keep talking for the next hour about my theories about Neil Breen? Because I don't really want to talk about the movie.
That's basically what we're about to do, Jackie, because we don't know what the fuck happens in this movie.
I couldn't tell where anything was going halfway through.
Yeah, I got nothing. So this is as close to nonsensical November as we can get. This film is baffling. But it's so Breen in its bafflingness that go ahead and have your theories. But let's get into this. Of course, this is filmed in the desert. We start out in the desert. It's followed by a bit more desert.
This is that there's
monkey arm.
It's like a wilderness area above, even though it's desert, it's still pretty and it's wilderness, right? Area above Vegas. It's got the red rocks and all that in it.
Is that up by the dam someplace?
I think it's in between Vegas and the dam.
Okay. Jackie, you've been there. I've never been outside of Vegas.
I got married the first time at the Red Rocks.
What about the third time? Fifth time?
Wait. It has red rocks, but it's not right, because Red Rocks is in Colorado, right?
Right. But there was this Red Rock Arch that you could go out to in the middle of the wilderness, and it was about 45 minutes outside of Vegas.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. It was fucking desert.
Right.
It's
I try to block that part of my life out, but I do remember the scenery was quite beautiful.
Yeah. So we're delivered to a rock place where on top of it is a fucking tiger.
That's my first note is tiger, exclamation point.
Okay.
Well, you don't really even recognize that there's a tiger there until you start. First you see the monkey arm.
Well,
and they're painting on the rocks.
It's not a monkey arm, Jackie. It's a caveman.
Okay, whatever. And then you hear, then it kind of pans out and you're looking at all this stuff that's been drawn on these rocks, and then you hear the and then Justin screams out, "There's a fucking tiger up there!"
Yeah, I didn't notice
it. And then you look up and you're like, "Yeah, there is! Holy
There's
shit!"
a tiger who just hangs out on top of this rock formation, where a caveman has collected some wall clocks and also made vague caveman art on the outside of. He didn't do it. He didn't go into his caveman cave and make art. He's just like, this is a good place for some art. I'm a caveman.
Yeah.
There's a tiger, and I got clocks, and I don't appear in the movie ever again.
It's not a caveman. It's a cave hand.
A cave hand.
It's just a hand that's got like a part of a burlap sack on it.
Right.
It's got some hair on it.
Yeah.
Is this in the past?
It looks like your arm, Sam.
Right. Ooh, diss. Blam. Shots fired.
Your face is an arm.
I shouldn't laugh so much.
Where is this?
When?
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 Well, according to the clocks, it's in Foreverland.
Is this in another dimension, or is this a caveman who just happens to be living out in the Las Vegas desert and likes clocks?
What, you've never seen the National Monument clocks rock.
Clocks rock, man.
It's got a rock with some paintings and some clocks. It's out there in the desert.
From the Goodwill. I mean,
the Goodwill.
Yeah, I mean, they're like your grandma's clocks. They're not even nice clocks.
No, they're Goodwill clocks. They're thrift store.
Yeah.
These are piece of shit clocks.
Right.
It's not nice.
Well, it's a caveman. He can't afford anything. Give him a break.
Oh, he stole those clocks, Jackie.
Yeah, he did.
And if you're
From
stealing
the-
clocks, get the nice ones.
No, he's stealing those out of the donation bin before they even come out to get them. He's like,
So the
he's just hanging out behind a bush where the donations get dropped off, and he's like, "Ooh, clock!" and he runs over there and grabs it, and then he goes back to his thing, and then he's like, "I need more clock." So he goes back down and he waits until somebody drops off a clock, and he knows which bush it is because he's been crapping behind this bush now for 5 years, waiting for these clocks to be dropped off.
Right, okay.
And then he gets another clock and he runs back up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he's a contemporary caveman. He's just today's modern day caveman.
Right, exactly.
This is
who doesn't appear in the rest of the film.
He's one of the Geico guys, right?
Yeah.
In between tennis, he does this as performance art.
Right, indeed. There's also some migrants who are not very
Mexican.
ethnic in any
or
way.
any other country south of the Mexico-U.S. border.
I mean, we've got Phil, the Southern migrant, Steve, the Southern migrant, Janet, the Southern migrant. I mean,
I think that this was intentional because he goes on to say that we're all just humans. There shouldn't be dividing of race and cultures. And so I think that he purposely put in every single ethnicity he could find that was available at the time to do this.
I think he went down to the college, Jackie, and said, I need some actors.
The college has Code 1.
Right.
So what he did is there's the community, West Henderson, community learning classes or whatever. And he hornswoggled into, he volunteers to teach acting.
Right.
And you have to be in his movie. I've known I've worked for some people that have done this. It's a classic racket.
Yeah.
Is what it is right there. Oh, I'm going to give you a free acting class. You're already in a movie. Look at that.
So these migrants are coming across the southern border, while also we're being spliced in with some kids doing science. This group of teenagers who love space and they just
Science or astronomy?
Well, that's science, Jackie. They just hang out in one of their bedrooms with laptops and look at
coffee table books
and apparently just track they're like SETI. They're looking for life outside of earthly life on their laptops.
You can do that.
Yeah, you can do that.
Well, and the little boy has an Aquarian saddle for jumping.
Right?
That's a jumping saddle.
It's a jumping saddle.
Where the fuck does Breen get a jumping saddle?
Why does Breen have a jumping saddle?
And then he has a proper riding saddle, like a cowboy saddle, with the old man and a bunch of cowboy boots that are a bunch of different sizes.
I don't know.
Who's wearing those?
Back out in the desert, the migrants are passing trash. And I don't mean passing here's some trash. Take this trash. They're walking past trash. Can after can after can. Aluminum can. Breen thought, you know what? I'm going to have... there's going to be some trash litter commentary here, so I got to go get some. And all he went down was the canned vegetable aisle.
Yeah. Stewed tomatoes everywhere.
He didn't think maybe some plastic bottles would be appropriate, or maybe some paper.
There was some plastic bottles.
He just got aluminum cans.
Mostly cans of vegetable corn,
Right.
peas, and stewed tomatoes.
Now we also get sky magic, which is just a red dot in the sky that is something.
It's what happens, Justin, when you look at the sun for too long.
Yeah, you get
and
eye
then,
worms.
and then you start seeing red dots everywhere.
Yeah, or you're on a little bit of GHB.
It's a puzzling special effect because it's almost like a laser pointer.
Right.
But it's got a yellow center, so you're like, oh. I mean, this is all you came up with here? Just a dot that shows up?
Dot.
You could have done... He does the Aurora Borealis on his face later. You think that they would have done something a little bit more majestic here.
Right.
Like a unicorn.
Okay, so we're gonna table the sky magic for a little bit. Other than the fact that the kids, the science kids,
Yeah.
are using their NORAD-esque laptops,
Sure.
that they got at Best Buy, to track this sky magic.
Sure.
They are hearing a signal and seeing the signal from the sky magic, and now are headed out to the desert to try to find what it is. All the help of their professor, who is strapped to a hospital bed.
He's dying.
From what? Being an old
Sadness
guy? Yeah.
of not seeing space travel.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're not like, he can't be their professor because they're like sophomores in high school.
Right.
And they write songs.
Yeah, they do. And, they're pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Why don't you hear them next time?
Next time. You can hear them next time.
So Breen is living in the desert. He lives in a trailer that is
Old camper.
trashed. It's trailer trashed,
It's a trashed trailer.
right?
Yep. The windows are broken out.
Somehow, it's been there for a while because there's a late 40s series sedan delivery that hasn't been able to drive in 20 years, probably hitched to the front of it.
And he has a job.
Yeah.
He's the migrant trash picker-upper for the people that are bringing the illegals across the border, so that the border control doesn't know where the migrants are coming from. You got to pick up their tomato soup cans.
Yeah, without those cans, they can't track them.
Right.
You ever seen Walker, Texas Ranger?
Let's go check it out.
Yeah, let's check it out. And they pay him
They pay him.
in gauze. It's fucking gauze.
It's supposed to be H.
And then in the next shot, there's a bag of flour, and it's drugs. You're like, oh, I guess that gauze was drugs. It's totally different now. And then he does the flour as heroin, but he just squirts his arm with a needle.
He doesn't boil the heroin. He doesn't do it. It's just the flour, by the power of Breen, gets turned into water, and he squirts it on his arm.
And then he's fucked up.
Oh, come on. He put some black eyeshadow all over his arm so that it looked
Right.
like he had multiple injection spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had tracks. It
All
just
the
looked
way up
like
and down his arm.
He had that, and the stuff on his face was just like, Neil, you got poop on you.
You got poop on you. So he passes out, and then the sky magic lands on him,
Yes.
which I'm... What?
If I'm a super intelligent alien, I'm not picking up a heroin addict's body to
Why?
go deliver my message.
So that's exactly what happens. The sky magic is an artificial intelligence from the future. It is the future that has come back to this
Now?
time because man has become such a fucking shit show that this artificial intelligence is like, stop it, enough. And it chooses Neil fucking Breen as its avatar.
Yeah.
Desert trash guy.
And I can't still figure out whether it just clones desert trash guy, because it wanders around as Denim Breen.
Right.
But then there's another Denim Breen that's still just laying in a ditch for half
Just
the movie.
fucking sporadically passed out in ditches
With shit on his face.
with shit on his
And
face.
then, like, people will walk by him and he'll just kind of go, and then go back to sleep in a ditch.
Well, and the kids are like, oh, it's a desert bum. Like,
Yeah.
how many fucking desert bums are there out there that kids are just like immune to it? Like, they're not a bum in the city. They're not hanging out under a stairwell or, inside of an entranceway of a building that's been, not being used. This is a guy out in the middle of the fucking desert that's passed out in a ditch underneath a sagebrush.
In 10
and
minutes-
everybody's like,
10
that's a
minutes-
normal thing.
In 10 minutes, there's going to be buzzards on top of this guy.
Yeah, no, it's
you
like-
gotta call someone, not
No.
just, oh, those desert bums.
They're just like, oh, he's wandered off out here to die. See that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's Tuesday. It's Desert Bum Day. No.
He also called him a homeless bum.
A homeless
There's
bum.
a lot of Neil Breen's dialogue that is extremely redundant.
Oh, yeah.
Where you get three descriptors that mean exactly the same thing in one sentence. Like, yes, the homeless bum.
So he astral projects the AI over to the border fence that, come on, really, this is a bad prop. That I guess he touches it, which weakens it, because the next thing that happens is the migrants just kind of gently push it over, and now they're in.
No, there was a guy with a clicker and a torch burner thing that...
Yeah, he broke the fence.
That's true.
No, they just push it over.
They just push it over.
But Breen was like grabbing onto the barbed wire and his hands were bleeding like he was fucking Christ.
But if he's astral projecting, why would he be getting cut on the fence?
Because apparently he's not that intelligent.
Was that...
He was the reject from the intelligent planet. And they're like, look, we know you're the village idiot, but if you really want a job, these Earth people are way stupider than you. Why don't you go down there and figure some shit out?
Maybe it wasn't even the AI. Maybe it was homeless Breen.
Yeah, that's a problem, figuring out the world, the universe's super being, and a ditch boy. Ditch dude. You can't tell them apart because they're wearing all denim.
So immediately after busting through the fence, they're arrested by the militia, essentially. It's not even border control. It's just some fucking wackos.
Oh, these are... I thought that this was all part of the same process, is that they were just pretending that they're going to get them across the border to freedom, but they're actually just going to human traffic them.
Okay.
That's what I thought too.
Okay, all right.
And then the one had a bunch of
different people.
Had a bunch of drugs stuffed in a pillow so that she could, finance herself when she got over the border, which is actually a smart idea. if I'm going to sneak over the border, I am going to shove a bunch of drugs up into my stomach and pretend like I'm 7 months pregnant, so that I can start at least some kind of business when I get down there, that I don't have to sell my cooch for $20.
And then Alex Jones
is right,
and the propaganda gets even worse, and suddenly we don't allow asylum seekers in this country anymore. No, Jackie. No.
Well, that's what happened in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think that the drugs are their drugs. The bad guy, they're not her drugs.
Yeah, they mule them.
Yeah.
And they think like, because there's a few of them that aren't mules that are just like, well, we just thought we were getting a better life. And like, no, you're human trafficked now. You guys were muled and you're human trafficked now. And these are our friends that are going to help human traffic you.
Oh, and by the way, little boy and his old grandma, fuck you both. Pow, pow!
I have no use for you.
I have no use for you on the streets.
Yeah, on the streets.
The streets.
Die. I like when they split up the drugs. It's not, okay, here's your cut, or even this goes to black pepper, or some other villainous
Donnie
character.
Brasco.
Yeah, Donnie. This is Donnie's cut. It's, this goes to the banker. This goes to the CEOs. This goes to the insurance companies.
This one goes to the international bankers. Oh wait, we didn't get the bankers ones mixed up, did we?
This is the corrupt politicians.
Oh.
Breen, you're so Breen.
It's a great shot too, because it's just, he's so focused on the drugs on this log that he didn't realize that he got a panoramic crotch shot of like 6 people and left it on screen for like 3 minutes.
This was one of my more favorite shots of this movie.
So 2 of the migrants escape. An aunt and her niece.
That are the same age.
Who are the same age. And at one point, at no point is it like the age thing is tried to address. It seems to me that Neil Breen wanted a child actor to fill that role and then couldn't get one, so just cast whoever to be the niece.
I would think when I watch these things, it's like casting his 52 card pickup.
Right.
There's like one, he's like, these are the boobs that I'm going to touch inappropriately, and everybody else can just play whoever.
Yeah, pick a script and that's your character.
Yeah, the best looking one is always the one he's
the love interest.
Yeah.
Right.
And the love interest in this film is very pretty.
Yeah.
She is not good at acting.
Not good at acting.
She does have a nice body with some big old boobs.
Yeah, she does. So
which are highlighted several times during this film.
Yeah. Run with your arms out. No, you can't run like that. Put your hands up by your ears and now run.
And while you're sitting, try to touch your elbows behind your back. So the rest of the migrants are put into a truck, and some are taken to a human trafficking house, which is just Neil Breen's with like a mattress inside of it that's covered in poop.
I guess they're going to be hookers.
I guess.
But it seems like
There's
what they're
some
really
dudes there,
going
too.
to do is just... No, the dudes have to now live in a bus.
Right.
Because they never get out of the bus.
They never get out of the bus.
And then it's nap time for the ladies. Like, now you're in here in your mind. Take a nap.
Take a nap. At no point do these migrants have to suffer really other than be in places that aren't comfortable to sit on.
Yeah.
Well, and the one hangs herself in the bathroom.
Right. I'm going to end it all. I can't live in this mattress room anymore.
I wouldn't want to live in a one-room mattress. Or a one-mattress room with a bunch of bitches.
I'm way away from giving up all hope, Jackie. I've been in a mattress room with some bitches for about 2 days. I'm not hanging myself. Come on.
Come on. Especially because most of them are tweakers and they haven't had any drugs lately. And it's going to be a fucking shit show in there. There's going to be people pissing and shitting themselves, scratching and itching and fucking freaking out.
I got it and all.
Hallucinating. I would be like, you know what? If this is the best it's going to get before I have to go, let some ding-dongus fuck me in the ass, this is it. I'm going to the bathroom and I'm killing myself.
But you are putting things into the movie that do not exist.
They do get a little fussy later.
They get fussy.
Like they wake up and like, you go to sleep. No, you go to sleep.
You're touching me.
Stop touching me.
That's it. I am ending it all.
That's when they find the body. Yeah, right after that.
It's a little much, Jackie. I mean, this woman's breaking point was like, this coffee's not very good. I must die.
It happened before they got fussy.
Right.
She was like, I got a stiff neck. This chair's uncomfortable. And then she hangs herself in the bathroom.
There's no hope in this world.
She also hangs herself from something that would not support the weight of a human at all. It would be the worst job. They wouldn't find her dead. They'd find her, but like, I tried to hang myself on the shower surround, and it came off and hit me in the back of the head, and I think I need stitches.
They'd be like, you're no good to me on the streets. You need stitches. Pow, pow.
So the niece and the aunt find the lair of the Breen as they're wandering through the desert.
But first they were in the sex trafficking van, and now they're free again.
Yeah, it was a bad edit. But in the context or in the film, they're free, and they find Breen's trailer trash, and he's like, "Cool, live with me."
Well, he said he's going to sleep in the truck.
Right.
I'll clean it out for you. He just keeps repeating that about the trailer. I'll clean it out for you. And then you see him in there and he's just throwing cans and toilet paper and plastic bottles out of the door of the camper van. Like, I'll clean this. Nobody wants to sleep on your crusty ass mattress and your shit stained comforter.
They're like, no, we're cool.
They don't say that. They're like, we can't stay here. And what's best about that is that in the previous scene, they're like, we can't sleep outside.
Yeah, because a coyote might get you.
Yep, it might.
So they're living at Breen's now, and he just kind of fucking wanders around the desert like he does in every film for a while, with lots of exposition and sweeping shots of him looking stoic.
Maybe. In these ones, they kind of fell in love with the drone, and you can't really tell what he's doing.
Right.
He's just sort of this blue mass in the middle of the desert.
Right.
You can't see his face. You can't really see anything.
I'm assuming he's trying to look stoic.
All you can see are like denim and Just for Men. That's it.
So the niece follows him on his bullshit walkabout.
Yeah.
And watches him go through a rock.
Or just disappear in front of it.
Or just disappear in front of it. I'm not real sure what happens here.
She watches something that doesn't happen in real life. It's like, this should be a real challenge to all of her beliefs. Like,
Right.
she just saw something completely metaphysical happen
Her mind is now broken.
directly in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to confront him later.
So she takes a nap
Yeah.
in the dirt.
She's like, I just saw a man disappear into thin air. This dirt looks comfortable. She takes a dirt nap.
She takes a dirt nap.
Meanwhile,
Like,
the kids walk by her and go, "Oh my god, another homeless bum,
Yeah.
Right.
homeless desert lady."
Why are all these bums out here today?
Too many. Man, the ditch folk are really multiplying.
And then just a few minutes later, he comes back, and she's like, "Where did you go?" And he's like, he gives some Breen answer.
Yeah.
And her remark is, "You're a weird dude."
Yeah. That's her challenge. Like, her entire psyche should be falling apart because of what she's seen, and that's her response to it is, well, that's weird.
You're a weird guy.
You can teleport, weirdo.
Weirdo. Then the next scene, I believe, is my favorite scene, where they cut to the aunt. The aunt.
Well, I think the aunt, I say aunt. I think that she's, again, I think that this is such a bad cast that the niece is supposed to be a child. And the aunt is super protective of her. And she shows up in that scene where she calls him a weird dude. I think this is immediately afterwards. This is the same scene. And is like, "You stole her from me. What are you two doing out here?" She's being super protective of her.
Oh, well, they didn't show that part.
No,
They just show her
because
with
it's
a rock.
an adult actress.
They just show her with a rock, and she's like, "I'll fucking kill you." And then he's like, "I'm not going to hurt you." But she chucks this fucking rock and hits him right in the fucking head.
Right in the face.
And you know that they couldn't fake that because he doesn't have any money.
Oh, they had to fake it. She didn't chuck a rock at him.
He
Jack.
fucking
no.
took a rock to the head.
No, Neil Breen, you've seen the man's frame. He's not going to take too many rocks.
Right. He would be done.
This is my favorite part of the movie.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And he falls to the ground. He's holding his head, and I'm like, ah.
Especially one thing that I don't think gets talked about enough in bad movies is bad mismatched Foley, where something happens, a contact is made between a person and an object or another person, and it's always that deep punch Foley work, which is not what a rock hitting a man's face would sound like. So it's completely mismatched and instantly becomes comedic no matter what you do.
When you throw a rock that looks like it weighs about 8 pounds at somebody's head and it goes, "Koosh."
It's hilarious.
And then Neil Breen can't fall down fast, so he's just sort of like, "Oh no," and then slowly works his way to the ground and lays over.
And then she suddenly has this massive character shift and cares deeply about him out of nowhere.
I'm so sorry. And this is where you get, and this lady is the only one I looked up, was Kathy Corpus. Because I just was like, she can't possibly have been in anything else. She's gonna be in other stuff.
She is not one that Neil Breen went down and found the general pool of actors in Henderson. She actually is wanting to be a legitimate actress.
And she does,
which is very not Breen-esque for his casting.
Tai Chi and martial arts and is in some action movies, I guess. But she doesn't have a medium.
No.
She only has full blast and almost off.
She is basically Austin Powers after he comes out of the liquid goo phase.
Except he can't. Well, she does do like, I can talk softly, but she can only scream and talk softly.
Right. She's like Nick Cage.
She's kind of like Nick Cage, only not super talented.
Right. Better body, though.
She's got big boobs.
than Nick Cage. Oh, boy. All right. So they're pals now, I guess. And the next thing, to reinforce their relationship, Neil Breen decides that they need a scene together that really cements things with the viewer. I think that they should fold a couple holy towels.
They're just destroyed rag towels.
Right.
And
they're not even that. They're towels. They're shower towels that somebody has just cut a hole out of the middle.
One of them's like cut almost in half, but then there's the top and bottom, still holding it together.
Right.
And the other one has a basketball-sized hole in it.
I thought she was going to use hers for a poncho.
I thought they were ponchos.
Because it kind of looked like a denim poncho.
Like-
and I was like, all right, she's going to Neil Breen it up here. And this is going to.
Yeah, they're going to go out on a desert adventure or something.
Yeah. Nope.
No.
How are you today? I'm well.
No. How are you today? I'm fine.
No, it's like, she's like, I have to do it now too. She's like, how are you today? I'm okay.
And then they just fold these towels and put them away.
No, they don't. They fold them and then they stop folding them and they hold them and the shot holds for 3 seconds and then it stops. And you're like, yes. So now I'm like, have they been living together for 2 weeks and now they're
Right.
folding
Doing
the
laundry?
the laundry that they have
Trash
is
laundry.
2 towels? What'd you do? Rub it in the dirt? I don't understand the towels.
I see. You got the rock hitting me or hitting him in the face. This is my favorite scene of the movie because it's bonkers.
And then he just sits in his truck and he keeps looking back through the window at the camper. And she's in the camper looking at him through the camper window into the truck. And I'm like, is this supposed to be like a loving, I love you, Neil Breen? And he's like, I love you too, but it's unspoken. We just have to fold our towels.
He does speak about it because he says that as soon as he starts caring about these people, he's weakened.
Yeah.
His AI-ness is not as tough, I guess, because of compassion or whatever.
His human form is also weakening him.
Because he chose a heroin addict.
There is poop in my pants.
And on my face.
On my face.
Oh, my God. All right.
And the sad part is that it's speaking of the poop on his face, okay? She even asks him in one of these scenes, what's on your face? And he's like, it's dirt. I slept in the dirt.
Yeah. And it moves around. It's a moving mole. It's never really the same shot to shot.
Yeah.
And he will transform into like a businessman. And when he transforms back into denim, he makes sure to put the dirt back on his face.
Right. It doesn't look like dirt. Sometimes it looks like dirt, but mostly it looks like shit.
It looks like poo.
It looks like coffee grounds.
Sometimes, but other times it's a smear. You can't smear dirt. It's viscous.
Yeah.
There's viscosity to what is on his face.
You got some chocolate on your cheek, and he goes, where would I get chocolate in the desert? No, lady, this is poo.
Oh, my God. All right. So eventually their relationship becomes so strong that after some shenanigans we're going to skip over, mostly him just wandering around the desert, he tells the ant that he is an AI from the future, and she's like, oh, okay.
He explains it with a rubber hose.
Yeah.
Which,
takes way too fucking long.
Whatever. That's how I would explain it to somebody. And then when the two ends of the hose meet, and he was so lazy, he couldn't even like bend the hose so that the two ends met. It was just, and I'm just going to fold this up like a fucking sausage. So.
Lazy or just doesn't have the grip strength to actually turn it into a circle.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh.
Is the spinning part next?
No,
Yeah,
that's part of the
circle
shit I
thing.
skipped over.
I'll mention it really quick because it's such a bad shot. It takes forever. He's spinning around in this like rock formation, and then the shot pans away for a long time.
Right.
And then it goes back.
And he's still fucking
And then stays there for a long time, and you're like, what are you doing?
Well, and the weird thing about this rock formations, I've seen these before at like goddess festivals and stuff like that. And they're called like a journey path, and you're supposed to walk into the center of the circle, sit in the center of the circle, and you're supposed to get spirituality and guidance for your journey.
Oh, that's why the White Walkers had them too.
Yeah, and it's just a spiritual thing, and he's like just standing in the middle of it, like the sun will come out.
Right? Yeah.
Tomorrow.
You expect him to start singing. There's a musical number coming out of this rock formation.
That's what I thought was going to happen. I was very disappointed.
Instead, he just spins around at Neil Breen speed, which is not fast.
Well, you didn't want him to fall over and hit his head on a rock.
He would do that. Cut to the action news team of Channel 8.
Yeah, Channel 8, not national. I guess this is the national news.
It's supposed to be, but these two are clearly action news team for Channel 8,
Yeah.
Henderson, Nevada.
That's where when I was watching it, I was like, this is a local news thing here.
Right.
And they're like, man, we just spin this the way that our corporate masters are making. I was like, no, you don't. You got 22 minutes of weather and 4 minutes of national news that's been rehashed poorly.
Yeah, you're talking about the fucking lady basketball team for
Yeah.
And your weatherman is also on the scene where there's a cat parade. I mean, come on.
Yes, Jessica, this is the perfect day for the scat parade. As you can see, there's not a cloud in the sky. Oh, wait, is that a scorpion cloud? Oh, my God. Run, cats, run.
And Neil, the AI has zapped all the bad people. He has pulled a Thanos, and I guess he's starting to claim, because he's like, I'm going to kill 1/3
He's
of all of you.
gonna
who
Thanos.
suck.
3 million
But it
people.
takes
300
him,
million.
300 million, but it takes him for fucking ever.
What did you expect? He was slow in the entire movie. He's not going to, like, fucking speed up this
He
time.
doesn't just snap his fingers and these guys disappear. Some of them, he has to go visit.
He seems like he visits everybody individually.
Right, but the action news team is like, all of the bad people have disappeared. What is happening?
They're like, we're going to get more on this right after the weather. Rick, how are things looking? Yeah, looks like we're going to have a 20% chance of rain, 30% chance of not rain. Can you get us any harder numbers than that, Rick? No, I can't.
I would like
But the
to.
cats have all made it to safety.
However, our corporate masters have all disappeared. Back to you, Jen. So he goes to the house where the migrants are being kept, his house, and gets in a fight with the leader and zaps her.
The dialogue in this one's pretty funny because it seems like it's kind of ad-libbed.
Oh, yeah.
Like they kind of went back and forth where she's like, I'm going to kill you. And he's like, you can't. And she's like, yes, I will. And he's
I
like,
have this.
oh, good.
What the hell are you doing in my house? Because she's also Screamer.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is my universe. Back to her. I will kill you. I will eliminate all of the people like you that have ruined the planet. You are done. No, you are done. I'm done. Done.
And then he slowly backs out of the shot.
Oh, yeah, this is great. Because later on, they're going to do the same effect where it's this whole still shot fade out to the shot without him in it. So it looks like he's disappearing. And they figured out halfway through making this film that you can actually do the same effect without leaving the other half by split screening it. But in this one, he didn't know you could do that. So he just like backs out of the shot awkwardly. He's like, I have to not be here. Otherwise, no special effects.
Right. They just can't cut or pan to this woman, even if it's so bad.
It's bad. And then it took him so long to get out of the shot. He barely gets out of the shot that they couldn't wait any longer, and so his shadow's still on the wall and it disappears with her.
Right. So he warps to some rich house.
This is when he fucking warps to the photos from the Parade of Homes catalog.
So weird.
And then he changes in from his Canadian tuxedo to like a suit because he's gonna go blend in with these people. He doesn't want them to know that he's not among them, even though they have no fucking idea who this guy is.
No.
And it's just them, this group of bad people who just apparently have garden parties where there's 4 people invited, and then they can just confess to each other how evil they are. I've got some more dialogue for you. This is from corrupt politician number 1.
Oh. Because none of these people have names.
I know senior national elected government officials who can help shit.
Wow, you're just as good as the actress.
Oh man, I'm trying to do a good job. I know senior national elected government officials who I can force my political bias, then influence on fellow politicians to vote my way for a payoff, of course. Then the AI says, isn't that corrupt?
Isn't that corrupt?
And they just bounce around this house with different groups of actors, even though some of them are the same actors from other bouncing around scenes where they just stand in a circle and say shit like what they can do that's nasty.
And it's just horribly, these are green screen people onto photographs.
Right.
They really should have just been playing in the background. Who's bad?
Right. And each confession ends with him saying,
I can get the politicians to give me what I want. Just give them cash.
Isn't that corrupt?
I can get them to do whatever I want. Because me and my whole girlfriends, they don't want to be caught. Because I can...
Isn't that immoral?
Isn't that cheating the common man?
So then they're like, who's that guy? Finally, and he fucking
Leaves.
and
And one guy goes, I don't know. He's not from here. Like, this house? He's not from, and you guys are from this house? What?
then he blows it up. Power of his mind.
Everybody else, he disappears. These motherfuckers get blown up.
So he's back in the desert now, and he's wandering around. The aunt is still living in his trailer, and she shows us her back really stupidly.
Which has got a tiger tattoo.
A tiger tattoo on it. Nothing in Neil Breen is accidental other than his inability to shoot anything or act. Is she... What's the deal here with the tiger?
I don't know.
Like, is she chosen because the space tiger is also cool with the Breen? So it's like, he knows that she's okay because she's got tiger. She likes tigers.
She likes tigers.
Yeah.
Well, so does Betty from the Route 22 dance club.
Yeah.
She's also got a tiger on her thigh, so she's like, I'm going to get saved.
Dude, everybody likes tigers. There's nobody that doesn't like tigers except for people who get eaten by tigers.
I don't really like tigers.
You don't like tigers?
No, I'm not
You're
huge on
dunzo,
dragons
man.
either.
What?
Well, dragons can be cool sometimes.
Dragons are only cool.
All right.
Did you know that in the last century, we have killed 97% of the tigers?
Yeah.
There is only 4,000 tigers of all species of tigers
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah. They don't have a habitat to go to if we tried to repopulate them either.
That sucks.
So
Good
you
job.
They'll live on in stripper tattoos.
Yep. Good job, everybody. Good job.
And then one day your kids will go, were you alive when there were tigers and
Yeah.
elephants? And you're
Yeah.
going to be like, yep.
Sure was.
And you go like, the kid will be like, Mommy, what's that on your back? And how I met your dad, he's a big spender. Landed the whale.
He done tagged me and bagged me, if you know what I mean. He stuffed me on the wall.
The good news about Jackie is if she ever decided to be a stand-up comedian, she wouldn't need an audience.
No. It would actually be an obstacle.
Okay, so then he goes into the Action News team and is like, Zap, you! Jill, the anchor woman, and Bert, the guy who has great hair, so
Yeah.
he gets to be on... What did these people do?
They were puppets willingly. These willing puppets. And then Frank the Weatherman harmed people by never being right.
Right?
How many picnics have you ruined, Fred?
You're done. Zap.
Yeah.
He's like, you ruined my cat parade, you little bastard.
Oh, man. What a jerk. So then he sits down and gives a soliloquy to the camera. I also have that in quotes. I am not going to do
No.
it because it would take 30 minutes.
He gets tired in the movie of
Right.
talking. He has to it took 4 different shots to get all the way through this monologue. And so from shot to shot he's in different poses.
Right.
And 3/4 of the way through it, he's almost laying on the desk because he's so tired of fucking giving his own spiel.
And it's all about how we suck and that the cleanse has begun, and unless you churn your ways around, I don't know what's going to happen.
unless you don't change things. Wait, I already killed 300 fucking million of you.
Right. Isn't that the change? Like, what are you saying, dude?
Little too late for change. You just mass murdered us.
Right. Oh, God. So the kids realize finally that the homeless bum was actually the space magic signal that they need to find. So they're back out in the desert. They pick up the professor. They kidnap the professor. He's like, I can't go out there. And they are like, you don't have a choice, motherfucker. Get in this wheelchair.
So I still don't know about this guy being a professor because
Right.
when Jackie's spotted it when he gets out of his hospital bed that he's wearing jeans. And his top is an Atlanta Braves jersey.
Right?
He just has glasses. That doesn't make him that smart. He's just some guy.
He's a crazy man that they
Yeah.
found, and they just call him the professor because that's who he thinks he is.
Yeah. No, and he's not even really that sick. He's just fucking so pumped up on oxycodone he can't get out of bed.
And then he serves no purpose. They take him out to the desert, they wheel his ass around, and then when they track Breen down, the professor isn't there.
No, but they show the kids just pushing him around, dragging around his oxygen
Right.
tank. And I'm like, couldn't we just done this movie without these 4 little fuckers?
They serve no purpose. It's mind-boggling without purpose, these children. Because Breen is like, yes, you guys are cool. I got a gift for you. This is from my place. And he piles a huge handful of bedazzled gems into this child's hand that there's too many and they just all fall onto the desert floor.
He's like, here's the evidence that I came here bedazzled.
Right.
He's like, oh, the 300 million fucking dead people that you're about to pile up in this desert aren't evidence enough?
And aren't they supposed to be like riches? Like, isn't he giving this kid like, you're cool, here's some good stuff?
Yeah, this is the glory of my time.
And why does this kid get the glory of his time?
Why does
he
anybody-
fucking passed this guy up in a ditch like 3 times?
Right?
Didn't check on him. Didn't see if maybe he was dehydrated or dead. It was just like, well, there's another bum. This kid should have been evaporated with the rest of them.
So, but he just got done giving a soliloquy about how too much power makes humankind bad, too much money and greed and power. So what does he do? He gives a child zillions of dollars. Here you go.
Here you
now
go.
you're fucking rich, buddy.
And then he's like, you want to hear my song? And he sings it, and he goes, 300 million and one.
The niece has ran off because I guess there's still the aunt and niece
Yeah.
story
Well,
somewhat.
it's obvious now because it has happened in the dialogue that, and I believe the aunt is named Amanda. I think the niece is named Niece.
Mm-hmm.
Amanda has a name because she's the only person that got cast in the movie.
Right.
I think that she also made him rewrite it and declined a sex scene.
Probably.
She's like, no.
You are gross.
Not going to happen. They're going into the universe together.
Okay.
They've said so.
I don't know what that is.
He's like, you have to come with me. We're going away.
to a better place.
To a better
You are
place.
saying that they're going into the universe, but all that's exposed to us is that it's a better place.
Sure.
And he has a jug of Kool-Aid right next to him.
Ooh. Some Jim Jones shit he's
Yeah.
proposing.
That's what it seems
Mhm.
like.
Okay, let's get on the back of that hail bop. Put on your Nikes. Or is it Reeboks? I can't remember.
Reeboks.
Yeah, rocks.
Uh-oh. God, I hope Neil Breen never has a cold. Because he would be, no. Neil Breen, do not get a cold. Do not get a cold.
It's probably his cult sort of ends up in the hot tub with no pants. And you're like, oh,
Man,
boy.
I don't know. Yeah, so they're like, we're going to take you to a better place. And she's like, neato. But my nieces ran off. And so they go to find her. They go into an abandoned mine where there's what is supposed to be like horror screaming, I believe. But instead it's, I saw a mouse eeking. Eek, eek, over and over again. That I don't even think that they hear. I think we're the only people that hear the eeking. Because they react to it in no manner at all.
I couldn't put it together until afterwards. So there's like a guy said, "Oh, I've been pretending to be a ghost."
Yeah, the niece finds this dude living in the mine.
And this is like most of the way through the movie, and you're like, new character? Who the And then later, after this scene, I'm like, oh, so he's the shadow?
What shadow?
There's a shadow that looks like a crab leg, just gets held over to the movie and like marched across the screen like crab legs back.
I thought that those were just like Ghost Breen or Cloud sometimes. I didn't know that they were anything.
No, that's that guy. He's doing it with some 2 rubber hoses and some rags.
Why?
How does
To
he
keep
do
people
that?
away from the mine.
Why?
Because he wants to live alone.
That sucks. Nobody wants to come into your mind,
Yeah.
dude.
1, it's not working because everyone's still there.
Right.
2, who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are
Who
you?
the fuck is this guy?
And like, of course, the aunt is like, "I'm gonna kill you!" No, dude, I'm cool. I'm
She
fucking chill, man.
Escalates so rapidly. Like, new person, you're gonna fucking die. How does she make it through the purge?
Right.
She is obviously fucking evil.
She's a loose cannon.
It's because he has a tiger tattoo.
Right.
Big rack.
Yeah, that's hey, everybody with a big rack. Good news for you. So I've got some more Breen dialogue.
Okay.
This guy that we have no idea who is and just met. You are now free of PTSD.
He didn't give us enough on the front end of this new character.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good for him.
I mean, honestly, I was fine. I just if I needed a cure of anything, I've got some rash on the back of my thighs, but I guess now I'm cured of PTSD.
Yeah.
Thanks, guy.
Yeah, and then he's down at the minivan with the guy that's taking a nap because the kid's dad brings him out, and he's still napping
Right.
in the minivan through all of this cosmos change. And the kids are down there, and this guy walks off, and he's like, I was the ghost in the mines, and I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you kids. Wait, who the fuck am I?
Who am I?
But then it's even weirder because then he turns to the grandma and the little kid that get blasted at the border. You are alive because somebody remembers who the fuck you are.
Right. Meanwhile,
So are they alive or do you bring them back?
well, let's address that because the next thing that happens is the busty aunt's ex-husband has tracked her to the desert.
And it appears to be the same guy that's playing the dad because of the tattoo.
Right.
But it's not because he's not wearing a hat.
He's like, I found you, bitches. Blam, blam. Kills them. And Breen's like, oh, okay. I guess my bang lady's dead. So he makes the gun guy shoot himself in the face.
Well, he makes the gun guy shoot in front of his forehead.
Right.
It was scary enough that he fell over and died.
Right. From it. But so then Breen brings them back.
So
Resurrects them.
How did he miss this guy the first go round?
Right. Good work there,
And
Thanos.
knowing this guy's ex-wife, he probably should have shot her.
How did this guy find them?
Yeah, the ghost didn't work scaring him off. I'll look at that part. Who is this guy?
Yeah, okay, so what's your hang up there with the undead, Jackie?
Nothing. Because I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
That he just has
He can resurrect people and
Yeah.
he can just murder everyone.
Right.
So,
He's got the powers of the Beyonder, so why not?
yeah, I guess. Never mind. I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, all right.
Makes sense.
So now they're walking along. The niece has said, "No, I'm not going. I refuse." And she just sits down in the desert. "I'm not going a step further." And the aunt's like, "Dude, but we're going to the better place. You wanted to go to the better place." "Nope. You have to go to the better place." "Nope, I'm not going.
I'm not. I can't go.
I'm not doing it."
I'm
And
too weak. You've always been stronger than me. I'm too weak.
so
Well, later, bitch.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna live in the desert
I'm gonna
now?
live in the desert now. That trailer we've been hanging out.
She's like, okay, well, bye.
Bye.
And then in the next scene, she doesn't get to go to the better place either all of a sudden.
Are you sure about that? I
They're
don't
having
know.
the devil's wedding where he is escorting her down an aisle of dead people.
Of dead frat guys.
Yeah.
Because that's
They-
who the extras are that lay in the dirt. It's just
They-
like some dudes.
They have a they have a clear conversation where he then says she's not going and he has to go without her. And he says goodbye. She says goodbye. Then there's some party dudes laying on the ground behind him. And then they're going off together again in the next shot.
But she says, I'm going to the better place. And he says, you are going. And then they say goodbye.
Why would they say goodbye? They're not going. They're going together
I don't fucking
in the
know.
next shot.
Yeah, and they wander off, and he takes the dead frat guys with him while the Aurora Borealis is in his face. And I guess the cleansing is over.
But then he keeps saying the cleansing must continue, or
Yeah.
then badness.
Right. So murder
Yeah.
anybody.
Anybody, like, this is the sort of,
Like, it's the fucking purge.
all of the sudden, everybody that's left is, I guess, inherently good. So you are now judge, jury, and executioner as you see fit.
Right.
I'm going after my neighbor across the street.
Whoa, damn.
Good Lord.
Tired of him mowing his lawn at 9:30 at night. Fucker. Have some common courtesy.
That's the movie, folks. Where do we begin?
So Neil Breen is a complete psychopath, question mark?
Exactly, Jackie. This man is dangerous. I'm worried about him. Is he okay? Like, is he mentally okay, or is he in trouble?
Yeah. It's like we have to watch Twisted Pair to find out how dark a path Neil has decided to walk.
He's got some major issues. He's much more. This film is an angry movie.
Yeah.
Before Fateful Findings, there was some love and some adventure here, magic. There was hope inside of the Breen. He didn't like the corrupt bankers and the corrupt politicians, but you know what? He dealt with those guys pretty quick. That was kind of a side note.
Yeah.
This one is dark.
300 million people.
That it's exposed that it's not just the AI that feels this way. This is Breen's take.
Yeah.
That he even says people disses people that use political correctness. Like, if you want to say handy capable, you die, motherfucker. It's your fault.
Brush your teeth less than twice a day.
Die. Gone. I'm worried about
There's some forthright things happening here.
Yeah, I know we're in a weird place in society right now, but if Breen is going over the edge, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's a step away from trying to fucking be David Koresh. That's dangerous shit, man.
The Vegas Villa.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on this guy. So yeah, we're Twisted Pair bound at some point soon.
Yep.
All right, who's next?
What's the deal with the tiger?
What is the deal with the tiger?
Yeah. I don't know.
Whose fucking tiger is that? Is that a space tiger or just a general desert tiger?
I'll ask this question and then I'm going to attempt to answer both questions. Does it matter that she's the tiger?
Is she the tiger or does she just like tigers?
She has to be the tiger.
Why?
So she's the spirit of the earth. And he is the spirit of he is the future of the cosmos. And even though she's a bit of a firecracker and tries to kill 3 people, she's the goodness that's in this world. There's he's doing a real bad job with his metaphor here, but
oh man,
that's all I can guess.
So I guess that's as good as it gets. Jackie, do you want to rubber stamp that one?
She's just protecting her cub.
But is she the tiger, Jackie? That's the
Yes.
question. Okay. Not what her motivation is.
I'm just adding
Okay.
my 2 cents.
All right. So she's the tiger. Huh.
Why is he transporting to the ancient rock painting? Is he just too lazy to walk?
Yeah.
Right.
That leads to my next question. Does Quaid start the reactor?
Right. 'Cause it seems like the only way he can teleport is by going to that rock and putting his hands on it.
I don't. There's like another him inside the rock, too. Like, he goes into the rock, and then he goes back into Breen. It doesn't make any sense.
He's all over the fucking place. But it seems like this rock formation has given the space AI some sort of power.
Yeah.
But it seems like the space AI 100% doesn't need any more power.
No. Even in a weakened state, because of compassion, he's still able to kill a third, 10% of the human population.
Right. Ay. I got a Breen question.
Sure.
What is Neil Breen's favorite band?
Sticks.
I don't think he listens to rock.
Oh, you don't think so?
No.
I was thinking Hawkwind.
No. I think he listens to, like, really off the beaten path, soft progressive jazz.
Oh, not smooth jazz?
No.
A little crunchy? A tiny crunch?
No, like, guys that look at each other directly in the eyes while they're plucking violins. That's the kind of shit he listens to.
Okay, all right. Anyone else?
Where did they go at the end?
The Better Place?
The Better Place.
What is The Better Place?
Yeah.
What is...
I don't know. I guess some spacey thing.
I mean, they're in the desert, so any fucking strip mall down the street's a better
Right.
place.
Well,
Anywhere with air conditioning?
yeah.
But they're taking 100 million dead frat boys with them as well.
The sun.
So wherever they go, they're going to have a bunch of dead bodies around them.
If they're taking all of the evil people with them,
Just the dead bodies.
and she seems to be clearly very evil, and he just killed 300 million people. Is that like his new evil army? Is he just...
Is he the Night King?
Yeah.
That's why he likes the circles, Jackie. It's all tied to Game of Thrones.
This
is a prequel.
So this is Thanos getting a hold of the Black Lantern Corps.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there you go. Because that makes sense with the Marvel and DC. Yeah, I can't say.
It's, well, whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the prequel to Game of Thrones. That's
Sure.
a better explanation. No, I don't know where they're going. Wherever they're going, they've got 300 million dead bodies surrounding them. So it's gross and smelly and not a better place than the Vegas desert.
Wherever they go, the first person they meet, she's just going to be like, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Anyone else?
I'm good.
There are too many, so I
Yeah.
will stop it. Will Quaid start the reaction?
Yeah. Final recommendations on this. I'm going to start with Jackson, and I got a feeling what she's going to say.
Hell no.
Yep, you didn't like it.
I did not like this. I couldn't wait for it to end. And there's just nothing redeeming about this film that, I can riff it, but the bottom line is I was bored. I hated every minute of it, except for when he got hit in the head with a rock, which was fairly early on in the movie.
Yeah.
So then I just got it dragged on for me. So no, don't.
Yeah. Sam?
60% do. I thought it was dreadfully boring for a Neil Breen film. Usually they're a lot more boring. I found myself getting through on him making so many mistakes and just not having enough footage and editing. Like,
Right.
why did he pan out and pan back?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be like part of that for the shot. They didn't have enough footage to just use every fucking thing that
Right.
got shot.
Yeah.
But this is not the way to start Breen.
No, I am going to join Jackie, believe it or not, and give this a do not. I barely enjoyed it. It's a tough one. And again, my audience that I'm going to recommend it to is people that like Neil Breen. Well, guess what? You're going to already watch
You're already going to watch it.
So but anybody else, I can't give a recommendation on this too. I think this is a pass. I hate to say it. I'm glad I watched it. I'm going to watch the other ones, but yeesh, yeah, little. He needs to focus on the tale a little bit more and less on honing his skills.
And the redundancy was just overwhelming
Redundancy
in
was
this
awful.
one.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We've got a couple streaming do's and don'ts. Jackie, you did not watch any of these, so I don't want you to come in and say, I didn't watch that.
I didn't watch any of these. I'll just get that out of the way now.
Thank you. Starting with a Bollywood movie that Sam and I watched on Netflix called A Flying Jet.
Yep.
I didn't watch that.
Oh, damn it.
It's too bad that
It's
you
too
didn't
bad.
watch that. You would have liked a flying jet.
A flying jet is the tale of a
Flying jet.
A flying jet. A guy whose father was also a flying jet. But basically a corrupt businessman wants to come in and buy his mom's property
Magic tree.
that has a magic tree on it so that he can further put more factories on it and make more pollution.
No,
stuff.
it's only so that he can save like a couple of cents on shipping.
Oh.
Because they can get the pollution to the place faster if they go straight through the lake rather than around it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So either way, the mom doesn't want to sell, and this corrupt business guy is putting pressure on this family and threatening him and stuff. So what happens? A flying jet is born, a superhero.
He gets kissed by the magic tree
Mm-hmm.
and becomes almost Superman. He does get
He's pretty much Superman.
He doesn't have the laser eyes.
Right, but I don't think that he learned that he had laser eyes yet, because he's pretty omnipotent. Like he kind of just does whatever.
He does the freeze breath once.
Yeah, he does.
And then he does everything that Superman does,
Flies,
excepting
moves
the
fast, super strength,
laser vision.
bulletproof. Yeah. His nemesis also gets born in this film, who is an American wrestler. I can't remember. Australian wrestler, but he was in I looked him up as he was the Undertaker's tag team partner in WrestleMania 19. And if you get into WrestleMania, you're kind of noteworthy.
Yeah, he's in a few Jackie Chan movies too. I've seen this guy before.
Yeah. He was fantastically terrible. Laughably bad.
He was a pro wrestler in a movie doing pro wrestler at full blast, and it was awesome.
Oh, he was a 15 completely. All he did was make constant grunting and yeah, oh yeah. It was great, and he's got this weird head and these weird eyes. He's such a silly villain, but essentially he gets zapped by the power tree, flies across the lake, and lands in the toxic waste, thus making him the toxic revenger, because he's not a good guy.
Yeah.
So he's not the avenger. So he's got pollution powers. That's his deal. He can pollute stuff.
And he gets more powerful by eating pollution.
By the more pollution he consumes, the more powerful he is, which I would think would be a very lucrative career.
Yeah.
I guess I don't need to result to supervillainy. I can just eat pollution. I like to eat pollution.
He eats pollution.
The world leaders are paying me vast sums to just eat pollution.
It's like we have a fix on the problem
Right?
here.
Yeah, this guy is a worldly commodity. I'm like, he's super important.
Like, if we came to the bargaining table at the UN, Axe is going to drop on a flying jet.
Yeah, no shit. We got to get rid of this flying jet guy, because it's kind of like this pollution guy
is solving all the problems.
It's not even that he's solving problems. It's that we're able to be pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to have a diesel without an exhaust pipe on it. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's blow that shit up there. He's just going to eat it.
He's going to eat all of it.
Fuck, man.
He likes it.
Hey, catch this styrofoam with your face.
Yeah.
More styrofoam. We need styrofoam everywhere. My couch is made of styrofoam. Like, fucking go nuts with the pollution.
Trash Island's gone because he got thirsty.
Right. We just roll around in trash.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds fantastic. This guy
No,
is...
that was a terrible thing for me to say. I was just kidding.
Oh, no, I think it would be a blast if we could just pollute however we wanted to, and a guy lives in the sky and eats it.
Yeah,
Be
food
wonderful.
that comes in styrofoam is gross because it always gets condensation on it, and it ruins it. It makes it soggy.
Yeah. Well, the food inside's not good. That's why you just eat the styrofoam.
Well, my butthole has never been cleaner.
Yeah. So then the flying jet comes in and beats this guy up, and they have a bunch of fucking Bollywood dancing and singing and shenanigans.
He's like a martial arts teacher.
Right.
And she's like a third grade teacher or librarian. I don't even
Something
know what
like
it is.
that, yeah.
But the romance is poof.
Oh, it's awful.
The special effects, or just the way they do things. When he was running at super speed, dragging his brother behind him, is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, hilarious. Obviously, I fully endorse A Flying Jet. I give it a do.
Yeah, I give a full do on A Flying Jet. Nathan Jones is the wrestler's name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He is fantastic. I don't get it. I just watch them. I don't understand. Some of them I haven't liked, but this thing is so silly. It's amazing.
It's so silly. It's not Gun Day.
No.
Don't get me wrong. It's not Gun Day, but it's a do. It's a 2.5 hour movie, so keep an eye on that. Next up on HBO Now, starring the Dolph Lundgren, and who else we got in this? Somebody else was
Kelsey Grammer's daughter.
Kelsey
I'm not
Grammer's daughter.
Gonna bother with her name.
Obviously, Denise Richards
Denise Richards
in a film called Altitude. And that's all I want to say about that.
I tell you about what happens, but nothing really happens.
It's an airplane movie, not a silly airplane movie, but essentially there's a guy on a plane who's got a bunch of money, and his old team is out to revengify him because he ditched them and stole all the cash, so they want the cash and kill him, whereas Denise Richards is an FBI agent who's on the ropes, and so she's got to try to save his life and stop this hijacking of this airplane.
She should be on their side when you really think about it. He's kind of a dickbag.
Yeah,
she
he's kind of
sides
a
with him. She's just as bad as him.
But except for the hijackers are going to kill all the passengers on the plane, so you kind of can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of need all those people to die.
I didn't watch this.
Yeah, she didn't. And I wish I hadn't either.
Oh, yeah.
This movie was boring.
It's a total do not.
It
Do not
is a
do altitude.
Do not. Avoid it at all costs, even though it's got Lundgren in it.
He's barely in it.
He's in it fair amount. It's not like he was there for probably 3 days.
Maybe, but the thing is that he could have been there for a day because he never gets out of that fucking chair.
Yeah.
He could have been there for a day.
Maybe, I don't know.
That's the other thing. He's not Lundgrening.
No.
He's piloting a plane.
Right.
And he's packed throughout the movie. You get snippets of him all the way through, so you think he's in the whole movie, but he's not being Dolph Lundgren.
No. Nothing happens. It's really boring. It's terrible dialogue. Nothing there redeeming wise. So.
And Denise Richards' plastic surgery is only fun to watch for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, she's starting to get a little scary looking. Still kind of hot. Anyways, that's the show. Sam, it's your pick next week. What are we doing?
Diggstown.
Because
I wanted to do it for a long time and I keep forgetting.
Starring Louis Gossett Jr. and James Woods.
I have not seen this.
No.
You're in for a treat.
Yeah. Arguably the worst boxing movie that's ever been made.
Or the best.
We'll see. So get out there and watch that Diggstown this week and come back to us on Monday. In the meantime, get to the chopper.
Visit us at www.stinkermadness.com. Follow Stinker Madness on Twitter at Stinker Madness. Please rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you for listening, and get to the chopper.